If you are in a situation right now and you're doubting that God can turn things around or that God can work miracles,
when I pulled to the side of the road, I asked the lady if she needed help. The look on her face went from distress to relief. On the way to a gas station, I learned that she was down on her luck. She had only $5 in her purse and was worried about feeding her child. I filled her gas can and drove the woman back to her car. As I started to leave, I felt a nudge to give her what I had in my wallet, $40. She hugged me and thanked me. We said our goodbyes, and the sweet lady slipped into memory. 3 years passed. My mother was diagnosed with a life-threatening illness, but the hospital said she could go home if she had a nurse's aide, which they would provide. The woman who was supposed to come to the house had a scheduling issue, so a substitute arrived. Her name was Tundi Hector.
only God can bring people together like this, y'all. There are no coincidences in this life, ever. Believe that.
Mom quickly became very fond of Tundi. One day, after exercising, wearing sweats and my hat on backwards, I stopped in to visit Mom and met the nurse's aide who had been so good to her. Tundi told me about herself. She had been a nurse's aide off and on for 20 years, but had always dreamed of studying to be a nurse. During our pleasant conversation, she asked if I belonged to a church. I told her if we went to Cornerstone. Her face lit up and said, "Oh, I met a young man from that church." She told me how she had run out of gas and was walking by the highway. The man had dropped his family at church and circled back to help her out. He not only filled my gas can, but gave me $40, she said. My jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. I saw myself 3 years earlier being tugged to help a stranger. I said, "Tundi, that was me." She was flabbergasted and felt she had been divinely aligned to work with my mother. It was an amazing God wink. As Mother's health deteriorated, Tundi and my mom formed an even stronger bond. Eventually, Mom died on Tundi's birthday.
And she passes away on the other lady's birthday. Not a coincidence.
My family and I thought about how we could show our appreciation to Tundi for her loving care to Mom. We had this idea. What if we could raise $1,000 to help her start nursing school? So secretly, we started a You Caring Fund Me campaign, but we had no idea Tundi's story would touch so many hearts. When we gave Tundi a check for $8,000, she cried. The fund is now over $37,000.
So there's just a few things I want to point out about this video. Many of us, even believers in Jesus Christ, will question God's presence in our lives. Here you have a situation where this guy is going to church. This lady's broken down. Holy Spirit convicts him to do what he should do, which is stop and go back and help this lady, which is what he did. And the way God honors that is when this man's mom was sick, just by, I don't even want to say coincidence because I don't believe in coincidences, the lady that was supposed to show up to take care of his mother, something happened and she didn't show up. So this lady got sent there, the same lady that he helped. They call these God winks. I don't really care for that word so much because I think it goes deeper than that. I think this is just God showing off, to be perfectly honest with you. And this lady ends up bonding with this man's mother. They become very good friends. Again, another non-coincidence. And then this lady dies on this black lady's birthday. All these connections. So this black lady will never forget the man that stopped to help her, gave her money for her car, for gas, helped her out. And then this lady, 3 years later, that's what's amazing about God. See, God is not bound by time. A lot of people, when things happen, they expect God to act immediately. 3 years later, he gets repaid back for what he did. At least that's how I choose to look at it. So, because of the relationship and how much this lady cared for his mom, They wanted to do something nice for her. You see how all this works? You know, they had saved like $8,000, the guy said. He said, and then it just kept growing. It got almost to $40,000. That is the God we serve. So if you are in a situation right now and you're doubting that God can turn things around or that God can work miracles, just remember to do what it is you know He's already told you to do in His Word and leave the rest up to Him. And that's what this guy did. He saw this lady distressed. He dropped his wife and his kids off at church. He turned around and went back to help her. That's what we're supposed to be doing. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.